The aroma of sizzling bacon and fresh coffee filled the air as Anthony maneuvered through the bustling kitchen of Harrison Diner. At 29, he had spent most of his life immersed in the comforting chaos of his family's eatery. As he wiped down the stainless steel countertops, his mind drifted back to the days when high school was the epicenter of his world. The clinking of plates and the hum of conversation surrounded Anthony as he recalled the first time he noticed Amelia. She sat alone at a corner table in the diner, her thin frame almost lost in the sea of bustling patrons. Anthony, engrossed in his tasks, couldn't help but steal glances at her. Something about the way she absent-mindedly played with her food and avoided eye contact piqued his curiosity. One day, curiosity turned into concern. As Anthony stood behind the counter, he watched Amelia approach. She ordered a simple cup of black coffee and lingered by the register, seemingly lost in thought. Unable to ignore the tug of compassion, Anthony decided to strike up a conversation. "Hey, Amelia, right?" he said, a warm smile on his face. Amelia looked up, surprised to be addressed. "Oh, yeah, Anthony, isn't it?" He nodded. "Yep, that's me. Mind if I join you? It's rare to see someone here just for coffee." Amelia hesitated but finally nodded. As Anthony settled into the seat across from her, the diner's background chatter provided a subtle soundtrack to their conversation. "Everything okay? You seem a bit distant," Anthony observed. Amelia sighed, her guard lowering slightly. "Just dealing with some stuff, you know." The sincerity in her eyes prompted Anthony to lean forward, his voice a hushed whisper. "If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here. My family owns this place, and sometimes a chat over a cup of coffee can make all the difference." Amelia offered a tentative smile, a hint of gratitude in her eyes. "Thanks, Anthony. Maybe I'll take you up on that someday." Little did they know that this simple exchange would be the beginning of a connection that would endure the test of time. As Anthony returned to his duties, he couldn't shake the feeling that fate had woven their paths together, setting the stage for an unexpected journey of friendship and support. The days at Harrison Diner unfolded, with Anthony and Amelia's connection slowly deepening. As Anthony prepared orders and engaged with customers, he found his thoughts often drifting to the enigmatic girl who had become a regular at the corner table. Determined to unravel the mystery behind her quiet demeanor, he seized the next opportunity to delve into her world. One afternoon, as the lunch rush subsided, Anthony noticed Amelia seated by herself, a steaming cup of coffee in hand. With a plate of fresh fries and towel, he approached her table. "Hey, mind if I join you again?" Anthony asked, a friendly grin on his face. Amelia looked up, a hint of surprise in her eyes, but she gestured for him to sit. "Sure, Anthony. What brings you over?" He set the plate of fries between them, a shared indulgence. "Just thought you might want some company. Plus, these are on the house." Amelia's lips curled into a small smile. "Thanks, you're too kind." As they savored the crispy fries, Anthony decided it was time to broach the subject that had been lingering in his mind. "You know, I've noticed you often opt for just coffee. Is everything okay?" Amelia sighed, her guard dropping a bit more. "It's just, things have been tough since my dad passed away. Mom's working tirelessly to make ends meet, and sometimes coffee is all I can afford." Anthony's expression softened and he nodded understandingly. "I'm sorry to hear that. If there's anything I can do to help, or if you ever need a meal without worrying about the cost, just let me know." Amelia's eyes met Anthony's, a mix of gratitude and vulnerability in her gaze. "Thanks, Anthony. It means more than you know." Their conversation continued, weaving through the tapestry of Amelia's life. She spoke about her father's legacy, the challenges her mother faced, and the burden of responsibilities she carried on young shoulders. "I didn't want to burden anyone with my problems," Amelia admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "But your kindness, it makes it a bit easier." Anthony reached across the table, gently placing a hand on hers. "You're not a burden, Amelia. We're all in this together, and sometimes sharing the load lightens the journey." As the afternoon sunlight streamed through the diner's windows, Anthony and Amelia forged a connection that transcended mere acquaintances. Little did they know that this newfound understanding would pave the way for a friendship that would withstand the test of time and life's unpredictable twists. The rhythm of daily life at Harrison Diner continued, and Anthony found himself more invested in Amelia's well-being than ever before. The simple act of sharing a meal had become a cherished routine, and he couldn't ignore the fact that Amelia's struggles lingered like an unspoken shadow. Determined to bring a touch of warmth into her life, Anthony decided to introduce her to the comforting world of his family's signature sandwiches. One busy lunchtime, Anthony prepared a special sandwich, carefully crafting it with layers of succulent turkey, crisp lettuce, and a secret sauce that was a closely guarded family recipe. As he approached Amelia's table, a proud smile played on his lips. "Hey, Amelia, I got something special for you today," Anthony announced, setting the plate before her. Amelia looked up, a curious glint in her eyes. "Special? What is it?" Anthony gestured to the sandwich with a flourish. "It's our family's special club sandwich, my mom's secret recipe. I thought you might enjoy something heartier than just coffee." Amelia's eyes widened as she took in the sight and aroma of the sandwich. "Oh, Anthony, you really didn't have to. This looks amazing." He chuckled. "Consider it a token of our friendship. Besides, everyone needs a good sandwich in their life." As Amelia tentatively took a bite, a mixture of surprise and delight flickered across her face. "This is incredible. Your mom's a genius with sandwiches." Anthony beamed with pride. "Glad you like it. Anytime you need a break from just coffee, these sandwiches are here for you." Their lunches became a shared experience, with Anthony crafting new sandwiches that reflected the diverse flavors of the diner. It wasn't just about the food, it was about the camaraderie that grew with each shared meal. The diner, once a place of solitude for Amelia, now resonated with the laughter and conversation between two unlikely friends. One day, as Anthony presented a particularly mouth-watering creation, he couldn't help but ask, "So, Amelia, what's your favorite sandwich combination?" She pondered for a moment, a playful glint in her eyes. "Surprise me. I trust your sandwich-making skills." Anthony accepted the challenge with a grin, determined to make each meal a testament to their evolving friendship. Little did they realize that these seemingly ordinary lunches were weaving the fabric of a connection that would endure far beyond the confines of high school and the familiar booths of Harrison Diner. As the final year of high school unfolded, the halls echoed with a mix of excitement and nostalgia. Anthony and Amelia, now inseparable friends, navigated the milestones of graduation with a shared sense of accomplishment and uncertainty about the future. The familiar scent of the diner's dishes lingered as Anthony prepared for the next chapter of his life. Graduation day approached, marking both an end and a beginning. In the midst of the festivities, Anthony and Amelia found a quiet corner to reflect. "Can you believe it's finally here, Amelia?" Anthony remarked, his eyes scanning the bustling crowd of graduating seniors. Amelia chuckled, a hint of wistfulness in her voice. "Time really flew by, didn't it? I never thought high school would be such an adventure." Anthony nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. "It was, and having you as a friend made it even more memorable. I'm going to miss this place, the routine, and of course, our lunches." Amelia's gaze turned thoughtful. "I'll miss it too, Anthony. You made high school better than I could have imagined, and those sandwiches, they became a highlight of my day." As they strolled down memory lane, Anthony couldn't help but feel a pang of nostalgia for the simplicity of their high school days. "Remember when we used to sit in the diner, planning out our futures, and here we are, about to step into them." Amelia's eyes sparkled with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "It's a bit scary, isn't it? But I'm glad to have shared these moments with you, Anthony. You made a difference in my life." Their conversation took a more reflective turn as Anthony admitted, "I've decided to go to culinary school. It's time I chased my dream of becoming a chef. The diner's been a part of my life for so long, and now I want to explore the culinary world beyond its walls." Amelia's smile widened. "That's amazing, Anthony. I have no doubt you'll become a fantastic chef. And who knows, maybe one day, I'll be enjoying your creations on the cover of a food magazine." Anthony chuckled, appreciating Amelia's unwavering optimism. "I'd like that. And what about you, Amelia? Any plans for the future?" She hesitated, uncertainty flickering in her eyes. "I'm not entirely sure yet. Maybe I'll take some time off, figure things out. But your support has already meant the world to me, Anthony." As they parted ways on graduation day, promises of staying in touch lingered in the air. Little did they know that life's journey would take them on separate paths, but the bond forged in the humble setting of Harrison Diner would remain etched in their hearts. The diner, with its comforting booths and the aroma of home-cooked meals, witnessed the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new, uncharted adventure for both Anthony and Amelia. Culinary school became Anthony's new frontier, a world beyond the familiar booths of Harrison Diner. The bustling kitchens, aromatic spices, and the relentless pursuit of perfection fueled his passion for cooking. Yet, amidst the array of culinary experiences, his thoughts often wandered back to the place where it all began. In the heart of the school's kitchen, Anthony immersed himself in the art of culinary creations. The clatter of pans and the symphony of sizzling ingredients became the soundtrack of his journey. As he honed his skills, the lessons learned at Harrison Diner under his parents' guidance became the foundation for his culinary aspirations. One evening, after a particularly challenging class, Anthony found solace in a quiet corner of the school's courtyard. He dialed his parents, the comforting hum of the diner's ambience audible through the phone. "Hey, Mom, Dad, how's everything at the diner?" Anthony inquired, a touch of homesickness in his voice. His mother's warm laughter echoed through the phone. "It's the usual chaos, Anthony. You know your dad can't resist experimenting with new recipes, but we're managing, just like we always do." Anthony grinned, picturing his father's culinary experiments. "I miss the diner, Mom, and I can't wait to bring back some new recipes to share with you." His father's voice joined the conversation. "That's the spirit, son. Remember, learning isn't just about mastering techniques, it's about embracing the essence of each dish." Encouraged by his parents' unwavering support, Anthony threw himself into the challenges of culinary school. He experimented with diverse cuisines, refined his techniques, and absorbed the rich tapestry of flavors that the culinary world had to offer. During a brief break between classes, Anthony received a surprise call from Amelia. Her voice, filled with genuine curiosity, echoed through the phone. "Hey, Anthony, how's culinary school treating you? Any exciting stories to share?" He chuckled, appreciating Amelia's enthusiasm. "It's a whirlwind, but I'm loving every moment, learning things I never imagined. How about you? What's new in your world?" Amelia's laughter danced through the phone. "Oh, you know, the usual chaos. Work, family, and attempting to cook something other than instant noodles. But hey, your sandwiches inspire me to try new things." Anthony grinned, proud to have influenced Amelia's culinary adventures. "That's fantastic. Maybe I can share some recipes with you when I'm back. It'll be a Harrison Diner reunion of flavors." As the semesters unfolded, Anthony's culinary prowess grew, and he earned his chef's license with a sense of accomplishment. Armed with newfound knowledge, he faced the crossroads of his journey. The diner awaited his return, and the culinary world beckoned with opportunities. The familial bonds and culinary wisdom acquired along the way had transformed Anthony into a chef with a unique blend of traditional roots and contemporary aspirations. The diner, with its comforting aroma and cherished memories, called him back, but the culinary world had left an indelible mark on his soul. In the delicate balance between tradition and innovation, Anthony prepared for the next chapter of his culinary adventure. The journey of culinary exploration led Anthony back to the familiar confines of Harrison Diner. The aroma of sizzling dishes and the rhythmic clinking of utensils embraced him like an old friend. The diner, weathered by time, stood as a testament to the memories etched into its walls. As Anthony settled back into the routine of the family diner, a sense of nostalgia and purpose filled the air. One quiet afternoon, as he plated a classic dish, the bell above the entrance jingled, signaling the arrival of a guest. Anthony looked up, and his heart skipped a beat. Amelia stood at the entrance, a smile playing on her lips. "Anthony, long time no see," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with genuine joy. He wiped his hands on his apron, a mixture of surprise and delight on his face. "Amelia, what brings you here?" Amelia stepped forward, her gaze taking in the familiar surroundings. "I heard you were back at the diner. Thought I'd drop by and see the place that started it all." They shared a warm embrace, the years between them collapsing in the comfort of the diner's embrace. As they settled into a corner booth, Anthony couldn't help but express his gratitude. "It's incredible to see you again, Amelia. What have you been up to?" Amelia's eyes lit up with excitement. "Life took some unexpected turns. I work at company, but my real passion lies in cooking. I even started a food blog and a YouTube channel." Anthony couldn't hide his enthusiasm. "That's amazing, Amelia. Your journey sounds fascinating. I've been honing my skills too, thanks to the lessons at culinary school." As they exchanged stories, Anthony learned about Amelia's experiences in the culinary world, the challenges she faced, and the successes that fueled her passion. Amelia, in turn, marveled at the culinary transformations at Harrison Diner. "I never imagined the diner could feel even more alive," Amelia admitted, a hint of nostalgia in her voice. Anthony grinned. "Well, you know how it is. The diner has a way of keeping the heart of the neighborhood beating. And speaking of heart, how about a meal to celebrate our unexpected reunion?" As they delved into a feast of familiar flavors and new culinary creations, the diner witnessed the rekindling of a friendship forged in its humble booths. Anthony and Amelia, once high school acquaintances sharing sandwiches, had evolved into individuals who found solace and inspiration in the world of food. Amelia raised her glass in a toast to unexpected reunions and the enduring magic of Harrison Diner. Anthony clinked his glass against hers, to old memories and new beginnings. "Welcome back, Amelia." The diner, a silent witness to the ebb and flow of life, continued to weave its threads into the tapestry of their stories. Little did they know that this unexpected reunion would set the stage for a collaboration that would intertwine their culinary dreams in the chapters yet to unfold. The neon glow of the diner sign flickered, casting a warm embrace over the familiar booths and counters. Anthony, now a seasoned chef with culinary adventures etched into his journey, stood behind the diner's counter, immersed in the delicate dance of flavors that defined Harrison Diner's essence. The atmosphere was nostalgic, filled with the comforting symphony of sizzling pans and familiar chatter. One quiet afternoon, the door chimed, signaling the arrival of a visitor. Anthony looked up from his culinary creations, and there, standing in the doorway, was the unexpected presence that would breathe new life into the diner's history, Amelia. A gasp of surprise escaped Anthony's lips, and a wide grin spread across his face. "Amelia, what brings you back here?" Amelia stepped inside, a warm smile playing on her lips. "I heard the siren call of the diner's famous dishes. Thought I'd drop by and see what Chef Anthony has been cooking up." They exchanged laughter, the years apart melting away in the familiarity of the diner's embrace. Amelia took a seat at the counter, her eyes scanning the menu with playful curiosity. Anthony joined her, his chef's apron adorned with the emblem of his culinary journey. "You're in for a treat. Our menu has evolved since high school. What can I get you?" Amelia's eyes sparkled with mischief. "Surprise me, Chef Anthony. I trust your culinary expertise." With a flourish, Anthony set to work, creating a dish that captured the essence of their shared history. As the aroma filled the air, they engaged in a lively conversation that transcended the boundaries of time. "I never thought I'd see the day when you'd be back here, ordering from the menu you inspired," Anthony remarked, a hint of nostalgia in his voice. Amelia chuckled. "Life takes unexpected turns, doesn't it? And here I am, back at the place where it all began." As they savored the meal, Amelia's eyes danced with gratitude. "You know, Anthony, your kindness in high school, those sandwiches, it meant everything to me. And now seeing the diner thriving and the dishes you've created, it's like a full circle moment." Anthony nodded, his expression filled with appreciation. "You played a part in this journey too, Amelia. Your visit is a reminder of the connections we forge and the impact we can have on each other's lives." Their conversation delved into the highs and lows of life post-graduation, the unexpected twists, and the resilience that had brought them to this moment. As the diner's ambience embraced them, Amelia's gratitude unfolded. "I owe so much to you, Anthony. Your support, those sandwiches, they helped me find my way. Now I want to get back. How about I order lunch for the next 10 years? Consider it a small token of my immense gratitude." Anthony's eyes widened in surprise, and then a genuine smile crept across his face. "Amelia, you don't have to do that. But your presence here, your words, they mean more than any order ever could." As they continued to reminisce and savor the flavors of the past and present, the diner echoed with the shared history of two individuals who, against all odds, had forged a connection that stood the test of time. In that moment, surrounded by the aroma of home-cooked meals and the resonance of laughter, Anthony and Amelia found solace in the realization that some bonds are timeless, and gratitude is a language that transcends the ordinary. The diner, with its enduring spirit, became a testament to the power of unexpected connections and the beauty of expressing gratitude beyond measure.